I am Red Cyclone! Aria!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Deans, and I'm here with Mark with the mic.
What is up, everybody? We are here, and we having one
Yes,
more.
sir.
He's not getting followed today.
I'm doing the following.
Yet.
Yeah,
The Jinkies.
Yeah,
Commander Farrell is back.
yeah, man. Commander Farrell and all my stuff. You can find me there.
Yes.
So we started off a conversation before the show talking about just a landslide of TMNT related figure stuff.
Yep.
Merc showed me about 1,000 things I didn't know about. Characters who were in like the first and second episode that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Who are finally getting some figures now.
Yeah.
A super detailed likeness of Danny the Kid from TMNT the movie.
Yeah.
And you told us that Casey Jones may be in the future, a lifelike.
Yeah.
likeness
So
of Casey Jones.
I'll say Casey Jones is going to have a second figure because right now he does have one. Is paired up with Raph, in the 2-pack. So I could see him getting a solo figure eventually.
You know who I saw recently show that off? I believe he's the director of Bayonetta.
Okay.
I forgot his name because he blocks everybody. If he blocks, that's his
I
thing.
don't like none of you.
Don't mess with him. Don't ask him questions. He'll just block you. But I thought that was cool because that was the one thing he just showed off, and it was that 2-pack. And I was like, yeah, it is. It is like that, isn't it? It's that damn good.
Yeah.
I would too. But also, if you see the picture, his office is filled with mad collectibles, so he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hideki Kamiya.
Yeah, thank you. So that's just basically showing how good of a job did. Which company is that?
So NECA is doing the movie ones. They also do the cartoon line. They also have a Mirage line, which is they kind of slowed down on it, and also a video game line involved in Ninja Turtles.
So you said it's NECA, N-E-C-A, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then
Yeah.
you also have the remaster like figures that coming out from Super 7. They do like the ultimate versions of the original Playmate figures. So there's a lot of people making intro figures. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay, that's cool. A lot of people making high quality Ninja Turtle figures.
Yeah,
Let's put it
and
that way.
the crazy shit is the fact that Ninja Turtles has not, like in the toy line, I think they're hotter than ever with the especially with NECA and Super 7 do their figures, because those are the hardest ones to get. Like if you try to go straight to stores to buy these shits, you ain't finding shit.
Of course.
Trust me.
Of course not.
Shout out to Tenacious T. He finds them sometimes. He'll catch them here and there. I actually caught one in the Time Warp game, Time Warp toys that we went to in Long Island last week. But yeah, they're hard to fucking get.
But does Time Warp carry them for the original MSRP, or do they?
I paid a little more, so I was fine with paying what I did because what I got Slash and Leatherhead 2-pack, which right now on eBay the base price is usually about $100 to $110. I paid.
Wait, so no, go ahead.
Yeah, so I paid about $70.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna ask, like, how many 2-packs are there? Slash and Leatherhead. That's way off on the scale of who to put together. So.
Oh man, so there's a lot. There's right now. I think they're on series 4.
Mm-hmm.
So series 1. Before I go into the detail, Jenkins, what you was gonna ask?
The quick question is, I'm looking at the website now for the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the GameStop exclusive. The ones I got you, the 4-pack. I know I didn't pay this, so they've gone up in value because they're selling individually now for like $119.
So you may be looking at the giant ones.
they made bigger ones.
They have like 12-inch scale ones that usually retail price is $120. So you may be looking at that one. If
I am
not,
looking at that one because the older ones is the 4-pack.
If not,
no
the
problem.
4-pack, the 4D used to got me though. They're extremely rare to get now because you cannot get them single because they remade them in 2-packs. So pretty much NECA makes most of their figures in 2-packs now. They usually just do the 2 and that's it.
So that 4-pack is rare. Crazy. Nice.
Yeah. Like each one went up in value. So like the 4-pack that you got me, honestly, I could probably resell those for about maybe $100 by $150 each.
Nice, dude.
But I will never sell them. They're all pretty in my display case.
Okay.
I actually opened them. I opened them. They're in my display case. They look beautiful. It's like a little tribute for my boy, my bro that passed away. So I kind of have Spencer holding the card they give you in the funeral, and then I have the turtles around him and shit. And then I took a Reid all in the back.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So these figures are crazy. Like, so if you're talking about the cartoon line started off with I was Raph and a Foot Soldier, Mikey and a Foot Soldier, Donatello and Crane, Leo and Shredder. That was the original 4. That was the original 4-packs, things like that. Those are extremely hard to find now because the turtles the turtles were shaded different too. They were shaded more like the original cartoon, which they were a bit more darker and they had a yellow shell, like a yellowish shell.
Do you know if when they started these specifically, were they made to be out in the wild, as in like a basic figure?
No. So NECA is a small.
With collectors. Okay.
Yeah, NECA is a small company, and still to this day, as popular they are, they still do everything like a small company does. So they did it at small scale, and I think they experimented in how the 2-packs will sell, and the fact that they were extremely hard to find. They showed them that they were selling. So then they did Wave 2. Wave 2 was just pretty much every issue of everything. So but instead of putting the Foot Soldiers with a turtle, they put the Foot Soldiers together. So there was 2 Foot Soldiers in one box. It was Shredder and Crane in the box. It was Leo Donnie and then Mikey Raph.
Okay. Cool.
And the turtles all look different. The turtles were a bit more brighter green, and they had a green shell, which it was more their colors in season 3 and season 4, because they kind of changed the color of the animation in the first season. They had a yellowish back, and later on they were all green.
So did they have a specific reasoning for going after that color scheme? Like, do they, since they're so small, or they just?
I think they just changed it because the original ones looked different, so they just reissued them for different like coat of paint.
Oh, they just didn't want it to look like the original.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of want the original ones. I missed out on those. I only have Raph and the Split Soldier. That's the only one I have of that. So
are they the same Foot Soldier for both?
Yeah, it's the same Foot Soldier. No.
Okay.
They have different weapons. So one is a gunner, so he has guns and stuff like that. The other one has like the sword and stuff.
But not the different color, like
no,
the outfits and stuff. Okay.
Cool. So going into that, NECA the original thing of Ninja Turtles that came out with NECA was, I think, were mainly con exclusives before they actually started making the GameStop and things like that. Okay. So the original box was based on the original cartoon that came with all 4 turtles and Shredder, and that was one of the first sets they sold. Then the second one was they had 2 original arcade boxes. One was the turtles, one was the Foot Soldiers. Each Foot Soldier were different colors with Shredder.
And that was based on which one?
The
Turtles in Time or the original?
The first game.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And those are hard. Those are like $300, $400 a piece and shit.
But also, like, because of the way you said they produce small, and those were rare to begin with. Yeah, they're not gonna just be all over the place. That's just how it is.
I say NECA and Super 7, they're very similar in each other in certain ways, because of what I've seen from Super 7 as well is they're fucking beautiful. Like, I really want to get my hands on the Raphael in Super 7. I kind of found that they did a repaint on the figure of the Super 7 one, so I'm trying to look for that. It's a little cheaper, so I might get that. Mm-hmm. But because they do a lot of details, they do a lot of fan service. Because honestly, if you look at the Thundercats that Super 7 does too, they're fucking amazing. That battle tank is fucking crazy, but that shit's huge.
But just all the figures are like a 10. Every one of them, like you look at them, like, why does this look so good? This is like it looks like the animation in figure form, like not the goofy looking faces anymore. You know what I mean?
All I say, they tried their best to make me broke, and they're doing a very good job. That's how I feel. And then, so with the NECA stuff, like again, I kind of had to zero down on what I collect because they come out with a lot of things. So now they do have a video game line, which is mostly Turtles in Time base figures. So they had like Bebop and Rocksteady in the pirate suits. They have the surfboard turtles. They have like Slash from the game. They have like Baxter Stockman. I think they just made. And then in the boxes they have like a electric shock turtle, which I kind of want just to have because I want to take a picture of it and for our cover of the Oddshell Shock, I kind of want that. So
that's
I might
really
have to
good.
find that. I might have to find that.
Wait, do they also do a Maito?
No, they just have the electric. So I could see them doing the Maito. I really can't see that. It'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It would be. It would. I mean, also just because, I mean, what's it gonna do? They make the figures with enough articulation that all they have to do is give it that face.
Yeah.
And then you could just do the rest yourself.
Yeah. Like the shock one is fucking hilarious. Like the detail of that one, because it looks like it looks really dope. Like how they did it. Yeah, it's a glow in the dark, so it looks like he's getting shot.
Oh, yeah, that's even nice. Okay, even nicer. Good.
Like let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it goes.
Well, are there turtles in Fortnite, Mert? That's my question.
No. Not yet.
Give it time is all I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Give it time. They're running out of characters.
They got a new one. I'm gonna get to it later, but they got a new one.
So. Looking at the figure right now, you can pose him to look like saying Maito.
That same one?
Because the figure is not like just the one. You could pose it.
Yeah, I figured because that was not a pun, but I know specifically NECA and the articulation, and you could do all types of poses and stuff. So
it's.
I'm
cool.
not surprised.
I think that's pretty dope. But yeah,
is there one with Rat King and his floating thing?
They have made Rat King, but he don't have his floating thing.
Okay.
I don't think NECA's gonna do vehicles. They kind of mentioned it because I remember one of the interviews they were talking about the Turtle Van if they were gonna do a party wagon, and they said kind of like what the guy from Super 7 does. They have to see if people are gonna get it, because if not, they don't want to have that in stock and have to fucking lose money on selling it.
The vehicles is a hard thing. While you guys were talking, I was literally looking up replica movie cars and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to be super as popular as just regular figures is. Like you get your generic pop-ups will come up, Ecto 1, 1979 Batmobile.
Yeah.
But nothing on the scale of like what they're doing.
Yeah.
That like feel like it's really collector's grade, but I'll have to look more into it. So we'll come back to that.
So what? So for example, the Super 7, the Thundercats tank. That one, it was kind of a test to see if it will hit its goal. So they kind of did what what Hasbro Pulse does, is they put a figure out and they were like, all right, this is for pre-order. If it makes this much, we'll add something. If it makes this much, we'll add something else. If it makes this much, add something else. They did it with the Mandalorian. They did it with the Sentinel. They did it with Unicron. So that's something that they do. So that's kind of the Super 7's approach to the tank. It had to sell certain things to get to a certain level.
They made the Raven Crest from Mandalorian?
Yeah. You missed out on that one. That one's gone. Yeah, they did that with the vintage figure. So it was like the smallest scale figure.
Mm-hmm.
And it came with Lana coming up with Mandalorian, Lana coming with Baby Yoda, Lana coming with like a whole like carbonated like trays and a bunch of shit. I think it was like $300 base price, and then pretty much if you did not pre-order it, that's it. They're not making more. So second market. I was trying to get, honestly, I almost did the Sentinel just to resell it. Because that one, like, if you think about $300, and then if you can't get that no more, you could sell that shit for like $800-900.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's the does anybody know what Unicron goes for?
Unicron just released.
He just came out?
He just released.
Oh, damn.
So like he just started hitting people's houses with the pre-order, and that one, like, on the market, I looked on eBay, is going for almost like $1,200.
Okay, because I know that's like double the price, right? He's like $600 or something.
Yeah, he was $300.
Oh, he was only $300.
Yeah, he was only $300.
I thought it was more than that. Okay,
No, it was $300.
That's cool.
So yeah, so that's what they kind of did with Super 7. They kind of had they had to hit a goal. If the pre-orders hit a goal, then they would go more ahead with it, and I think that's what they did with the battle tank.
Okay.
So I think NECA may have, if they do a vehicle, it'll probably have the similar approach.
Gotcha.
Which I only think it would be the party wagon.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I think most people want the party wagon. The other things are kind of like, okay, that's a little ridiculous, like the blimp. I understand, no blimp. I always question that blimp. I was like, you're a ninja. Why do you need a blimp that has your name on it?
Why not? Why not?
It had their name on it. There's no nothing ninja of a blimp.
Of course not.
No.
If you're going 100% dumb, go all the way.
Yeah.
Do it.
I agree.
Yeah. So again, and then the last thing with the NECA stuff is the loot crate. I think that the sale just ended that you was able to pre-order. So the NECA has been doing 4 boxes a year for Turtles. They do a Mirage, they do a cartoon, they do a movie, and they do a video game box for them. If you bought all 4 boxes, you got the bonus figure, which is the cat that I showed you. He's the bonus figure. The movie one was mentioned. It was Danny. They actually had to get copyrighted for his shirt because it's Sid Vicious on the shirt, and he had to get permission to put him on the shirt. If not, it would have just been a plain tie-dye shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The video game one is Sharkageddon, which is the shark. He was in Tournament Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the fact that they're making Tournament Fighter figures, I'm like, huh. So we might get some weird ones off of that.
That means there might be the Rat King grappler. They might. What's the girl's name? I think it's Karai.
Yeah.
Is
Karai.
it? No, there's 2. That's the
Karai.
thing. The Super Nintendo had Karai, and the Genesis one had somebody else. I think they seem to be doing Super Nintendo because the shark.
Yeah, because the Genesis one sucked.
It's way too hard for what it was trying to do.
It was like all clones. It was like nothing really.
Yeah, you had to like beat the game or do like a button combination to get the original colors. I think that was stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah. So yeah, they're doing that. Then the cartoon one, I think, is a Batman Ninja Turtle.
What's that from?
So in the animated series, in the cartoon, the 87 cartoon, I think one of the turtles dressed like Batman.
Oh, okay.
And
not from the movie. Gotcha.
Not from the movie. So it's a turtle that looks like Batman, and that's the cartoon one. And then it's a mutant Shredder for the Mirage comic one, which I'm not care for. The Mirage and the video game one, I don't care for. I may resell those, but the cartoon and movie ones, those are the ones I care about.
But they all come together.
So you had to, in order to get the cat, you had to pre-order all 4.
Okay, gotcha.
And you get the bonus figure. So that's what they're doing. I did it last time, but I only did the movie one for last time, so I missed out on. No, I did the movie and cartoon because I got the Rocksteady and Bebop cartoon figure, the Easter bunnies.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot of shit. Like, it's collecting is fun.
Was that also something featured in the cartoon?
Yeah, they dressed as bunnies. Yeah.
All
They were trying to recruit Usagi, and they were dressing bunnies, so like they were.
Man, when the hell is he gonna be recognized in anything else? Where is Usagi Yojimbo? Or is it because he's owned by, or is he owned by somebody else?
Stan Sasaki still owns him. Like, he's still alive. He's still doing the comic book. He still writes the comics to this day. He is getting a Netflix show, so it might be that the agreement, and it might have his own toy line for that. So who knows? I don't see a problem of them getting Usagi. I think they're gonna just make him I think it's gonna be a special occasion when they make him though.
It's taking too goddamn long.
I feel like they're gonna do it like in a way, as in he's gonna be like the first Comic-Con back, San Diego Comic-Con back. He might be that exclusive.
I feel like if he's not in that game, that's a missed opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many little things that character should be a part of, but he's not. That sucks.
But then again, like it's crazy because a lot of people think like it's hard to get his okay, but Stan Sasaki, he always was okay with Turtles using him. He never said no to anything.
I don't even know about it. I just want to know why he's not licensed in anything else.
But he's not licensed. He's not licensed to Playmates, or he's not licensed to Ninja Turtles at all. That's why. So they always have to get a separate license to use.
I'm talking about his own outside of his comic book.
Yeah.
He's not in anything else. Like, why don't they make anything with that character? Like, he doesn't have his own video game. He doesn't have his own.
Well, he's getting he's getting a Netflix show.
But that's what I mean. The years and years and years of the character's existence.
Yeah.
He should have had that character. Should be like the bomb ass character. Should have had mad figures. Should have had mad cartoons, mad video games, and it's just like,
nah.
Come on, bro. But we want that stuff.
100%. I'm one of the dudes that I've been collecting his comics since they first arrived, and to this day, I still, if he has a comic, I still go and get it. But Usagi's such a now IDW owns it. He's not under Dark Horse no more. So
I don't think anything is under Dark Horse.
Dark Horse still alive, but it's nothing good there.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Well, I hear people. I don't even know who is doing Alien vs Predator. Is that still a thing? I think Predator. I think Predator still has comics.
I have no clue. I can't. I think a lot of those are on the IDW. But they do have it. IDW took a lot of those indie books and a lot of those indie characters.
Yeah, there was a big consolidation. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because they have Sonic now, they have Turtles now, they have Ghostbusters, they have G.I. Joe, they have...
Who's got Mega Man?
Transformers. I think IDW have Mega Man. If not, no, it's Udon. Udon does Mega Man.
Udon has most of Capcom stuff, right?
Well, they're the main artist for Capcom.
I don't even know.
Right.
They do all those stuff for Capcom.
That's true. Well, I don't even know because I haven't read anything. That's what I'm saying. I have no knowledge of this stuff. I wish I knew, but it's you know what the other problem with a lot of their media is also they don't advertise it very well. You'll see something every once in a while, but it'll mostly be like, oh, this came out maybe like 2 months ago, and you'd be like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't have... Shame on Capcom as well.
I think Usagi, you're right about Usagi, though. Like, you think Usagi will be used a lot more than what he is, because he's such a unique character, such a cool-looking character. Like, I've been a fan of his comic for many years, and I always saw... Like, honestly, I understand that he's not a kid's character. Like, in the comic book, he's pretty much getting drunk half the time and just fucking people up. And that's pretty much the basis of the character. He goes around the world and fucking just drinks sake and fucks people up.
Why is that not a game? Why is that not just now being a series?
I'll say this straight up. If you could get a rabbit suit inside Ghost of Tsushima, you got fucking Usagi Yojimbo the game.
Well, Merc, let's just keep it moving.
Yeah.
I got something to show you.
Yeah.
Now just put it in the chat. I need you to see this. I don't know if you can see this, Jinkies.
Oh yeah, I saw this the other day.
This character named...
Where'd you put it?
He's in the Dark Horse comic.
Jaxxon, the Rabbit Man. I don't know anything else about him. 6 foot tall, green furred rabbit. Now here's the thing. How old is this character, and is this Bucky O'Hare?
It is not Bucky O'Hare.
Totally Bucky O'Hare. I don't see it, but I'm sure it's Bucky.
You see what I'm saying? You see it,
I see what you're saying. I don't see it, but I know what you mean.
Because they have the comic book, it looks like a comic book page next to the figure. If you go to the Hasbro Pulse website, and all I need to know is who came first. Because Bucky O'Hare is the exact same outfit, just with gold trim to like the silver hair. You know what I mean?
I
He's a green furred rabbit. That's too. Come on.
think
That's ridiculous.
Bucky came out first.
Now, why are they not getting sued out of existence? Are you telling me that Star Wars owns
Legally
Bucky?
distinct.
Legally distinct green furred rabbit?
Rabbit.
Come on. And he comes with 2 blasters just like Bucky O'Hare.
Wait,
Are you kidding me?
What's
But
the
he
name of the
doesn't-
other one you were showing?
But he don't have the space helmet.
I'm so mad.
It's like the Vanilla Ice explanation.
Should- I'm so mad though. Just
Mine
because
said ting. That one didn't have the ting.
didn't have the ting.
Man,
Man, but you see what I'm saying? You can
can't
see it. You can see why somebody would be like, "What?" And then now my question is, where's the Bucky O'Hare figures at? Like, I know they had a set back in the day. Everything did. Toxic Crusaders did. So, yes, Bucky O'Hare did. But I'm just saying,
it's funny. I almost bought a Bucky O'Hare.
it's time.
And,
What you mean the
Time Warp.
game?
No, the figure.
Oh, the figure?
He was
I
like,
mean,
they had him for like $60
why
mint.
Why not?
So
Why not?
Oh, okay. You see him from the Star Wars, the red suit.
You see that though?
I see it. I found it on the Google. Yeah.
on the Google. That's how old men say it on the Google.
But it's just but how you getting away? Who signed the deal? I need to know who's writing the checks not to get sued over this one. Shame on you.
His name is Jaxxon.
With 2 X's because he's
2 X.
extra cool.
So I'm trying to figure out when he came out.
Bucky O'Hare in the Star Wars universe. Confirmed. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Listen, come on, man.
That is
Let's
uncanny,
see his
actually.
debut.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, oh Lord, you know, let's go to Wikipedia. I'm assuming that's the official Star Wars wiki because it can't just be Star Wars wiki. I'm trying to see if I can find a date. You know what? It's taking too long. I'm not going to harp on this, but
Yeah.
if anybody's
I
interested,
get it.
please look up Jaxxon, Jaxxon, the rabbit.
Bucky O'Hare.
He appeared in
He's an old comic character. I can see they have lots of panels and everything. It's just, how is this not Bucky O'Hare? Damn you.
Fake it.
Okay, apparently Jaxxon is older.
Really? All right.
I think so.
I'll take it.
I don't think he is.
I assume if the comics started in the 80s, then I think it has Bucky O'Hare be, because I don't think Bucky
Oh
O'Hare.
yeah, no.
I don't think he started.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
1977.
Bucky O'Hare.
77. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's older.
He's older than Bucky O'Hare.
So
Hella
maybe,
interesting.
maybe Bucky O'Hare had needs something to talk about. Space Bunny.
Maybe that's the reason why he didn't last long.
So they got a cease and desist.
You think?
You think they got a
Holy
cease?
shit.
Bucky got a cease and desist. Like, you trying to stop your shit.
I got
gotta-
a C and D from the mouse himself.
Change
I'll
your
make
color,
that my
motherfucker.
side project.
Like, change your
And
color.
then, and I mean, not to mention, there's a character that's basically a 6-armed Daffy Duck
Yeah.
that like has an eye patch, and I think he smokes cigars in the comic.
Yeah.
Like,
he was a 6 foot. He was a 6-armed Donald Duck.
no, he wasn't Donald. He was Daffy.
He
He's a
looked
black
like
one.
Donald. His body shape
He
was
should-
like Donald. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Wait, what are you talking about? Donald Duck doesn't wear pants.
he doesn't.
He doesn't wear pants.
This guy wears pants. I forgot his name. I think no, it's not Plucky. That's Tiny Toon Adventures. That's a different duck.
Just to clarify for our Bucky O'Hare theories, it was just initially canceled why all those cartoons were canceled back then. The first season didn't do that great with ratings. The sales didn't sell right, and the second wave of figures never came out. So it's just one of those.
Deadeye.
No Star Wars related incidents.
Well, look, listen, if you go, so this is gonna get deeper and deeper. It shouldn't, but they're both from the 70s. That's wild. So
petition to bring back Hasbro reboot Bucky O'Hare.
So Hasbro has him. Hasbro has him. So there's a chance. His Deadeye Duck. That's his name.
Deadeye Duck.
That's
Who
the one.
owns Bucky O'Hare?
I think Hasbro.
He first came out in 1984.
the petition was deleted 3 years
No,
ago.
the apparently he has a comic book that dates back to 77 as well.
Yeah, 77,
Bucky
78.
O'Hare?
Echo. Yeah, Echo in the future past. Yeah.
Wow.
So they both
So he
old
first
ass characters.
appearance. His first appearance was 1977. So he is older.
No, well, aren't they both 70s?
78.
Shit. 78 to 77. Are you kidding me? It's that close?
No, 77. Yeah, they both 1977. Is it the same artist that created him?
It's possible.
Let me find out. The guy left. He left Lucas and made his own thing. Maybe that's what happened.
Like,
See, this is gonna take some digging now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Why is this so ridiculous? This shouldn't be this convoluted. Damn.
so,
Who knew the Bucky O'Hare lore went so deep?
What were we talking about? What Echo of Future Past? What's that about?
I
that's
have
the
no
comic. That's the first comic that Bucky O'Hare appeared in. Yeah.
Look at that fucking artwork. Jesus.
No. See, it would have made sense. Like, say for instance, the creator of this character was like, you know what? Fuck you, Star Wars. You're not letting me have my freedom.
Right.
And then he made Bucky O'Hare and like, look, I could do it my own. See, people like Green Rabbits, and then that would make a lot more sense. But two people came out with Green Rabbits. That's on the same year. That's
Just
crazy.
a good coincidence. It's one of those weird things. Probably it's just a weird coincidence.
So what I'm saying is, I actually like Bucky O'Hare. I remember watching the cartoon.
I like the cartoon. Yeah, it's all right.
Where's Captain Carrot?
Super Rabbit, Captain Carrot, Bucky O'Hare, Jaxxon Rabbit, Usagi Yojimbo. Top 5.
No, they all have. Just put them all in the same game.
Usagi. Be
No,
number one for me.
well, yeah, he's gonna win, but just put them all in the same game. That's what I want.
Usagi's evil. Like, all right, as much as again, he looks like a silent, quiet samurai. Half the time he's drunk, and half the time he's belligerent and fucks people up.
Wait,
Is he supposed to be
Captain Carrot is
in the samurai time period?
Yeah. He's a
Is he
fugitive
from
man,
back
yeah.
then?
Yeah, he's the Lost
Okay,
Ronin.
okay.
Yeah. He's pretty much the Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima was a rabbit. It's pretty much his storyline.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Captain Carrot. That's another one. I remember him.
Yeah, Captain Carrot was DC.
Yeah. It's Captain Carrot. Yeah.
He's saved Superman.
Yeah. His funny shit is they brought him back. They brought him back not so long ago too.
That's
He's
so
part of
good.
like a multiverse
Really?
storyline. Yeah.
That's okay.
He was in the new Teen Titans as well, 1982.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Captain Carrot.
I mean, you had the
That's-
likes of Spider-Ham. These are the great things. We love the animal
Yeah, the
creatures.
Zoo Crew.
Yeah, they brought him back though. He came back recently, like in I think one of the Crisis storylines.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I wonder how they drew up for that. I think to look
That's
that
nuts.
up.
he
It
no,
is,
he
though.
looked cool. He looked really cool.
He looked like Mighty Mouse, except a rabbit.
Yeah, he's taller.
This old cop. Except
Mm.
the old cop.
Yeah.
That's
Well, this has been
what
a
is
trip down
going
the
on.
rabbit
This is just
hole.
makes no sense that these damn characters all came out around the same time.
Seeing that with Bucky O'Hare, I think Super 7 would be a great company. I think Super 7 did Bucky O'Hare things already.
Well,
I
mean,
think they did
if,
their little figures. I think they did Bucky O'Hare already.
if Hasbro is the one who has them now. I mean, they just slacking at this point.
I think Hasbro just busy with other things. Like they're not
Well,
slacking.
yeah.
I tell you one thing.
they're busy.
The one thing Hasbro is not doing is slacking. There's something new every fucking week, and that hurts my pocket.
Yeah. That's why we're talking about
Yeah.
this, because of this other guy,
Yeah. So like,
Jaxxon.
because Hasbro it has Star Wars up to wazoo, it has Marvel Legends up to wazoo, it has the Power Rangers. At least the Power Rangers slowed down a tiny bit, but they still have them as well. So and then the Ghostbusters, they're doing more of those. They're doing I think they're doing more G.I. Joes. They're doing more Transformers. They just came out with the Beast Wars figures that look fucking amazing. So it's so Hasbro's is busy. They're busy. So Bucky O'Hare is a small potatoes for them right now.
Don't you dare say that.
I love Bucky.
How dare you?
100%. I will take a Bucky O'Hare. I think Super 7 is the one to do it though. I think the demographic to do Bucky O'Hare is, I think Hasbro will have to do a new cartoon series for them to focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anything to get them away from Konami.
Yeah,
because that's the last game was the arcade game made by Konami. Because it was a Nintendo game that wasn't that great.
It was good.
I mean?
It's a cult classic for a lot of people. It was just a really hard game.
I think you might want to go back and revisit it, because it's not that it's bad. It's just one of those games that's really like, oh, this is just like that game.
Yeah,
because it doesn't stand. If you play, it doesn't stand apart from like a lot of those like it's not third person. It's like 2D action games from the late 80s. Well, yeah, it has to be late 80s. From the late 80s.
I played like
and it's just like, this is not.
I played like Mega Man.
I wouldn't put this in the top 10 though.
No,
that's what I mean. Like, nah.
I like the Bucky though. I think I still have my copy. I don't have like the mint, but I have my copy. I know the mint right now goes for like $100-$200.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's an NES game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All that stuff is.
I saw a copy in Game On, and they're selling it for like $175.
But like, that's cool. I'm good.
I will take out like again. I'll say Super 7. Super 7 do an ultimate like version of Bucky O'Hare. I'm all for that.
And where the hell's the collection for that one? Where somebody buy that from Konami and give it to .emu or .emu so they can make that, put him together with the Turtles to save him from Ubisoft. Don't do that.
That was like honestly that was like a dream team up of mine as a kid.
Oh, the Turtles and Bucky O'Hare?
Yeah, because also you had the Turtles going into space and stuff like that, so that could have been an easy way to team them up. True,
but it kind of brought one of the worst things in Turtles history. Did they ever make a new Venus de Milo figure?
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Venus de Milo.
Well,
talk about Venus de Milo.
we don't talk about Venus de Milo.
Well, okay. Well, that's in other Turtles timelines. Have they made a figure of the newest female turtle?
No.
Why not? I ask again. Why not?
I could see the Mirage NECA version of Mirage things coming out with one.
I just mean anybody. I'm saddened and ashamed for them that they haven't done that. This is on par with the Britt Baker not being in like the second or third wave of the AEW figures.
Yeah, it's like
How
6
dare
waves
you?
now, and she's still not one.
How dare
she
you?
bled for y'all. God damn it.
Yes, pints.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, to answer your question, no, there's no Venus de Milo figure at all.
There's something of Venus de Milo if you actually take a look at the detail of it. If you look at the new party wagon from the 2012 series, there's a sticker of Venus de Milo on there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
At least respect.
What?
Yeah, there's like a sticker of like a, like how like the planes used to have like the ladies, like the silhouette ladies and shit. There's one that says Venus de Milo with the silhouette.
Wow.
Yeah.
They waiting, man. They waiting.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Since you would know this one, Mark, have they done figures of that show?
2012, yes.
No. The old show, the television show before they went off the air on Fox.
You talking about the Next Mutation?
Not 2012.
Which one you
talking about? The old show back in the day.
You talking about the live action or the cartoon?
Yes,
the live action. The Next Mutation.
Well, you said 2012. That was back when Power Rangers in Space was on TV.
No, 2012. 2012. Yeah, you're talking about the one that with Power Rangers, the team with Space.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that had Venus de Milo as a figure. Mm-hmm. There was a figure that Venus de Milo.
They actually had like a series for that show in particular?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember those.
Yeah, the Next Mutation. They kind of they were I think they were kind of rubberish. They were cool figures. I'll say that much. Like they actually had nice figures. They kind of like weirded out their weapons. Like Leonardo's swords were like scissors and shit like that. I didn't care for.
That doesn't. How dare they?
And then like Raph's size looked like swords, shit like that. They kind of like overdid it, but they kind of did the same thing. Their party wagon was a Hummer at the time, so they had the Hummer as a figure, the tank and stuff like that. So yeah, they had a figure. They had toys for them. I think every single Ninja Turtles incarnation had toys.
All right, cool.
100%.
And those have not been brought back.
No, and I don't think they are. They're a little pricey to find now, though.
They don't look that bad.
They don't look bad. They were actually the figures weren't the problem.
Wait, no. See, it keeps saying Next Mutation.
It is Next Mutation.
But how is it? Did they reuse the branding?
No, the show was called Next Mutation.
So when they updated it to bring it into 2012, right? They used the same branding of the old show from the old live action show?
No.
I think it was just TMNT 2012. Like that didn't have a designation. I think it was just TMNT.
TMNT, the movie, the animated movie was it had its own thing. It just was called TMNT.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that one had toy line as well.
No, I know that one. But I'm saying so there's two branded shows that are from two different time periods that they went back to the Next Mutation branding?
No, they never went back to the Next Mutation branding.
So what? So I get that she's made in a different style in the TMNT Next Mutation line, but was she ever created? Were they ever created for the? I don't know what year that'd be. 96, 97 live action television show.
Wait, what? Like I don't get what you're asking.
The live action television show where the Ninja Turtles went into space. Remember that one? The one from the 90s. Or was that like
that was the same show? That was the same show.
Your answer is yes. The Ninja Turtles, the live action show was the Next Mutation.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So they had
I think they had a cartoon the Next Mutation, and I think they had the live action show.
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, they didn't have a cartoon. Get clear. They did not have a cartoon.
Oh, it didn't have a cartoon.
They did not have a cartoon. No, Next Mutations was a separate thing. They didn't have a cartoon. They canceled. The CBS show got canceled, and then like 2 years later, they did Next Mutation, that's the one they brought to Fox, and they teamed up with Space.
Got you.
And then they didn't make none after that until 2003 when they brought back the Mirage style Ninja Turtles, and then that one went to back in time. They went to what was it called?
Turtles in Time.
Turtles. Like Crack in Time and some shit like that. They went into the future and whatnot, and then they went back to the sewers.
So that's the one.
That future one. Oh boy.
But I'm trying to get a picture for what they are. So that one right there, when they went back in time, was the one where they got to see all the periods, the different periods in their history.
No, they went to the future. It was fast forward. It was Ninja Turtles Fast Forward.
Yeah, Fast Forward. Okay. That's what it was called. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, and it was like April's Son or some shit like that.
Yeah, the movie the cartoon movie did the Turtles in Time thing where they went and saw each one of the things.
Oh, that was
but that was just
so
like
amazing.
A movie. It was a really good job. That was the 20 what?
Turtles Forever.
That was the end. Right, that was the end of that series, right?
Yeah, Turtles Forever. Yeah, Turtles Forever.
Okay, so I got the year. Next Mutation is 97. Okay,
there you go. Yep.
The toy line wasn't bad. Like the toys that came out for this show weren't bad. They actually had some cool stuff.
But I thought they would have went the extra mile because I see the toys and then they have. So I'm on. Shout outs to whoever made this blog on Tumblr, Turtle Fever Cowabunga. Yeah. But they basically have in 4 pictures everything related to that together. So they have the figure line on top, and then they have the the white additions to their color. So Raphael has red and white, Donatello has purple and white, etc., etc. Except Venus, she just has solid blue, solid baby blue.
Baby blue, yeah.
So when you look at them, and then you look at the show, they don't look anything alike because they didn't do the other Playmates thing where they copied the movie. Yeah. So they don't have the textures, they don't have the look to them, the weird eyes. They have the old school Ninja Turtles. So these figures look way cooler, or maybe way worse, depending on how you like those.
They look better than the show.
Look goofy.
They look better than the show.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So there's some
And
weirdos.
the only difference with the figures wise, they had their bandanas. Everyone had a different bandana. So like Donatello had like a full head one. Leonardo had like a full like pirate looking one. Mikey had one like went to his chin. And Raph just had a ripped one. Yeah. So they all had different bandanas. But other than that,
so there's one with Venus.
The figure of being Venus, yes.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, with the blue braid.
But also, but my confusion was, so then fast forward to the 2012 series that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
That one. Well, do you know the name of that one? Or is that just
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There you go.
And so that one also, they made a Venus de Milo as well.
No, it says she's a silhouette on their van.
Only one. There's only one.
Yeah.
God.
The only girl they brought back was Mona Lisa, and that was from the original '87 cartoon.
How many episodes was she in?
It was like 1 or 2.
Okay. Yeah. So, depending on how you feel about the character, pretty much underserved.
God damn it! You made me like look at a character now. I want him, and I might have to go look for his ass.
Who's that?
This fucking gangster gorilla.
Oh yeah,
I kind of want that figure right now.
Yes, the gorilla in the green suit.
I might have to find it.
The mutton chops.
You're absolutely right. They brought her back. I remember watching that. Okay.
Yeah, Mona Lisa.
I did remember her original version. Now that I see it, oh my god! But now,
she had, like, the spacesuit
now I remember they brought her back. Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest with you, like going like again, I'm going through the '87. We're gonna go to the future ones as well. I say like right now, to be honest, the 2012 Turtles series is probably my favorite.
After the watching them again,
yeah, it's probably hands down my favorite. I think it has one of the best storylines. I think it has one of the best Splinter storylines. Like, there's a lot of good Splinter stories in that series, and there's a way of how they present Splinter as such a badass. Like when you know Splinter's gonna fight, you know he's gonna fuck someone up, and I think that was something I loved about that series. They showed the father in him, and that was something I loved about it too. Like, they showed how he is a father to the Turtles, and not just his sensei, so like that. Because honestly, in the original '87 cartoon, they just call him sensei. He's not their dad. He's not their like that. The Turtles are not brothers. They don't never call themselves brothers. They're not. That's
very weird.
But also, if you look at the original toys, they're all not from the same like pet store. They're all from different fucking pet stores.
Really?
Remember on the toys they had like a little card that gave you like a little bio of the character.
Okay.
Every turtle was from a different pet store.
Was that represented anywhere else except for those cards?
The '87 cartoon. There's an '87 cartoon. They're not brothers.
No, I don't mean them being brothers, but they're not from the same. They're not from different pet stores because the little boy, as far as I remember, he didn't go to different stores, did he? So he just had the one bowl.
But you didn't know how long he had them.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's not represented like in any of the media, is it?
So probably not. It's just like a little detail I've noticed, especially looking at the old figures. That was something I noticed. Is like, yo, you never noticed the Turtles not. Actually, Tommy kind of brought this up because remember we were watching season 3. They're like, you know, they never like call each other brothers or anything like that. They just call each other by their names, and they say that that's my friend, that's my best friend, or something like that.
Yeah,
they never call each other brothers.
So what series did they start doing that?
I will say the movies. The movies started it. The original first movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
The original movie kind of brought that brotherhood to life. And then in the second movie and third movie, they all considered each other brothers. And I think that's what, in the comic book, they always said that too, because if you actually look at the original comic book, it kind of starts with that.
So what a weird detail to actually have. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's never shown how long the kid had them, but it's also never shown that the little kid went shopping around. So it's like, why would you even put that there?
Yeah, so like
that's very interesting.
Those are just weird things. Like again, like those are the weird things that we had, especially as kids, when we had the toys. Especially if the toys we did not know had cartoons. Because when I first got a Ninja Turtle, I had no clue there was a fucking cartoon.
Really?
No, I had no clue.
It was the other way
my
around
mom
for me,
found
yeah.
it. My mom found it randomly.
Like this?
And yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I
like
like this. It has my name.
Why does I just had to stop you for a second, Mark. Why does Donatello have pants? in this next mutation series, there's a variation of Donatello where he just has like black slacks on.
They have all the turtles like that, and they I think they came with the skateboard.
So they came with skater pants?
Yeah.
Dude, that's ridiculous. What is going on?
Yeah.
There's way too many variations, man. I'm kind of glad I stopped collecting those just because it's like,
Oh man.
I'm trying to explain this in my head, and if I didn't want to watch that terrible show, I'd have to understand that.
I'm a little mad you had me looking at these toys, and that's one thing I'm really mad about because I'm about to look for that fucking gorilla on eBay.
You're gonna go hide his wallet right now.
I must have this gorilla.
Oh, he's the best.
Yo, I
the
must
best.
have him. I think he's the best looking figure here. What's his name?
With a big lime green.
Lime
Like
green.
it's not even
suit.
pink. It's not even pinstripe. It's just a lime green
What's
suit.
his name? Silver. His name is Silver.
Oh well, there you go. Makes sense.
Silver the gorilla. Yeah. So. Yeah, we could keep on and on with the toy line and stuff like that, but
That's
we do
nuts.
have. It's a crazy, especially Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles, I think, is like so generational because there's so many different figures, so many different timelines and ways to get figures and stuff like that. I think the NECA ones are going back around with the NECA figures. I think those are the ones that are really hitting my nostalgic factor and really is the ones I want to keep going. So I've been collecting the cartoon, I've been collecting the movies, and those are the only two I'm doing. The video game ones are cool, but I don't care for them. It's just like
I have to get that picture. I'm sorry, Murray. I have to get that picture of Donatello with slacks on. It's bugging me.
yeah,
Yo.
it comes with like a skateboard. TMNT.
Oh my god. It's obnoxious is what it is. It looks so bad because he has no shoes.
Yeah, they have most of the turtles like that. Like I remember Leonardo not having brown pants or some shit.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
Next mutation. Now you have me fucking looking for next mutation figures. I'm very angry right now. God damn.
There it goes. I also put the picture of just bananas. But things I didn't even pay attention to. And they also have a badass they have a cool looking Casey Jones.
Yeah, I actually have this raft. Like I remember I actually probably still have this raft in my toy.
Shredder doesn't look bad either.
Shredder was never in the show though.
That's another thing. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Nah,
or if I did, I didn't remember.
I guess I guess they set him off for season 2 because he was supposed to be in it, but he was never in the show. Let's see. Raph had the same pants.
Nuts.
And he came with a skateboard. I remember those. I actually have him and Leonardo.
Well, this one has more clothes. So wait a second. This
Yeah.
one has a Stone Cold vest and some brown shorts.
Yeah.
What is? Dude, this is bananas.
Yeah.
Leonardo has some pants on with a weird purple like halter top. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. He gotta hold his junk. But yeah, yeah, there were some weird figures. Turtles have a lot of history of that.
Michelangelo's makes the best sense. Is a Hawaiian shirt and some red shorts. I
Yeah.
see.
There you go. He'd be chilling.
I need this gorilla. I hope this
You
gorilla.
need this gorilla.
I need this gorilla. I hate you.
All right, Merc. We can transition. To the,
You want to know who had a weird fucking toy? The movie we're about to review.
Oh yeah.
well, which one? Because I remember I only remember the RoboCop. I think 3 figures with the jetpack.
So, all right. So first of all, this was a full hard rated R movie, right? And this had a full kids toy line.
It's a hard R.
Hard R with a full kids toy line. And I remember the toy. Remember it really clearly because you used to put caps in it, and you could rub it, and it was like him shooting, and it rubbed the cap like a cap gun.
Yes, I do remember that. Also, I remember very weird proportions because they had to have the body able for you to load the cap in.
Yep.
So now I'm seeing him and he looks weird as hell.
Yep. I had those. I had the car too.
Okay.
Yeah. So the movie we're talking about is RoboCop.
Oh my goodness.
RoboCop from the 1987.
87.
Hard
the year
R.
of our Lord. 1987.
So the runtime is an hour 42. It is classified as action, crime, sci-fi, which when you think about it now, yes. And it debuted in the US of A in July 17th, 1987. I really wonder about the international release of this movie. I wonder how people not from this country perceive this movie, because if you saw this and took this as some type of representation of where America was headed, god damn, you'd be scared to come to this country. It was just a war zone from beginning to end. I just have to point that out.
Yeah,
you kind of forget that, but just the amount of crime.
Well, interestingly enough, sorry, go on.
No, I'm just you go on your point, but I like to reiterate crime.
No,
heavy crime.
No, to go to what you were saying is like how the world would have perceived this internationally. It would have been interesting because in the movie, after watching it again, noticing it now with older eyes, like the entire movie is staged upon a damn near nuclear war about to go on. The entire world is in turmoil. Every news article is talking about something happening somewhere else in the world that's going to shit.
Yeah, I think it was like
each
Africa.
News ad,
there were two countries in Africa going to war. It was pretty nuts.
From the 1 second. Yes. This movie, like the world of this movie, reminded me of Double Dragon.
But you know what? If you said that this movie led to Double Dragon, it would make more sense because timeline wise, because it hasn't.
Yeah,
the shit didn't hit the fan yet.
Yeah,
it still had normal cities. You see RoboCop's neighborhood later on in the movie. He still lived in a basically
suburban, almost cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I was to say cul-de-sac, but it was just like almost like a Leave It to Beaver-ish. This looks picturesque and perfect neighborhood. From the beginning to the end, you know what the funny thing is? The more times I watch this movie, the more times I'll start to pick up more and more details that I just didn't quite get the first time.
Same.
So one of the first things was the dystopian future that was imminent because of the nuclear war.
Yeah.
But at the same time, again, which we talked about last time, which was a while ago, so it's not really new to talk about it, but the ads for the different things, the ads for the car, the 6,000 sucks, but it's called SUX.
It's called SUX. I was literally just telling my son this today. It's like that car just says sucks. Also, first time my older son saw RoboCop today, so that's an interesting experience.
Okay, yeah. But just the ad for the board game Nukem, dude. How do you open up with imminent nuclear war between two third world countries, and then you end up with a board game advertising nuclear war in the household? What is going on in this? This movie is, but when you see that, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of put it towards what is slowly happening in the real world. It is like, man, you didn't want to see it coming, but I see it coming. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. The very heavy militarization of the police force, because the RoboCop program is that, but also what preceded the RoboCop program, which was the ED-209.
Ed 209.
That was gonna be had Dick Jones succeeded and Ed 209 not blown that man to smithereens. Also, that scene again. They took their time to show you that your man got.
It was, in the word, excessive.
Murked, and that's kind of the through line for this entire movie is excessive. It's excessive in its message of imminent doom and gloom,
Right.
It's excessive in his message of what basically the corporatization of everyday life,
Right.
with the police force being a corporate entity.
Mm-hmm.
They let you know that there's a scene right before. Well, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but there's scenes that indicate that the police are just owned by ICP, or excuse me, what is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
OCP, Omni
OCP.
Consumer
Yeah,
Products.
I want to be ICP. That's a totally different
Saying
future.
Clown Posse
a
owns
bunch
the
of
cops.
juggalos.
I don't even know how magnets work. I'm just saying. That's different. Oh, yes. Omni Consumer
Juggalos
Products,
and
yes.
jigglettes.
Yes.
But you don't want to say it predicted, but it was maybe this movie was in fact a warning.
Yeah.
And people just didn't take it seriously. People fell in love with RoboCop and didn't realize they were trying to tell you something.
Yeah, there was definitely an overarching message in this movie, but
yeah.
So, well, you know what? Let's give credit where credit's due. Let's go to the cast. So we have Peter Weller, cast as RoboCop.
Yeah.
Murphy. Nancy Allen as Lewis. No last name in this movie. That's another thing. No last name. Dan O'Herlihy as the old man. Also, yeah, he really didn't get that much of a name because both of the guys vying for his attention constantly called him the old man. Ronnie Cox as Jones, Dick Jones. Kurtwood Smith as Clarence Boddicker. We know him as Red Foreman. Or should we say we know him as Clarence Boddicker?
I'm sorry. It might not be stated where you were, but Lois's first name is Ann. They say it once. Yeah. Like
they only say it once?
When they introduce her, that's it. And then she just called Lois the rest of the movie.
That's kind of nuts too. Actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Let's see. He doesn't seem like a major character. But I want to get to they don't have the guy who's listed as the rival to Dick Jones here.
You mean
I think it's Miguel Ferrer. No, it is. I think it's Miguel Ferrer.
Yeah.
Miguel Ferrer as Morton. Yes. You said Bob Morton?
Bob Morton, yeah.
Yes, yeah. They have him. Okay. And he's basically we don't really think of him as a major player. We think of because he's kind of framed as an annoying, like almost sniveling guy because the way he gets the RoboCop plan implemented is just by sneaking in as a man's life is taken.
He's an ambitious upstart. He's one of those.
Yeah,
guys.
basically. Mm-hmm. But he's actually a major player. Something about him reminded me of Cliffy V. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I do not dislike Cliffy V. But there's something about him that reminds me of him. Maybe
I see it.
Yeah, maybe it's just how he looks. You know what I mean?
He has that cockiness too.
Yeah. Kind of the in your face. I'm just gonna take your shit because that's what he does. Some of the people that I guess we just go through it because there's a lot of people though. If only for how memorable they are in their scenes. So we have Robert Dokey as Sergeant Reid. That's the main cop. Do you guys know him from anything else?
He's been in stuff, but I couldn't even tell you right now.
Okay.
He was in all three RoboCops.
Yes, but I feel like was he a bigger player before the RoboCop movies? I feel like he might have been.
Not really. I don't see.
Maybe he might have to look and see if he was in television before that.
I don't see.
No, he is a TV. If you look at his IMDb, he's a TV series player. But it's just like anything that hits you, like that made you go, this guy. I don't know. It just felt to me like he was an important ass character. Or an important ass player, like as an actor, but really up to this point, I was too young. Obviously, I'd say we probably all are.
He looked like just a good supporting cast.
Yeah, he was never like a strong like lead role of a show. He was always in as characters in the show, so he never had like a long run because he was like in Webster. He's in Facts of Life. He's in Pound Puppies.
Okay. Okay, so that's very interesting.
He's in Pound Puppies. He's in My
Very
Two Dads. He's in Amen. He's in again. He's in a shitload of things, but only has one character or not, or maybe an episode or two. And he's Sergeant Reid in all the RoboCops, so he comes back for the other two RoboCops as well.
Okay.
And he's a Batman animated series.
That's all.
Does
it say, or is it just like who?
Doobie. I don't know who Doobie is, but he talks Doobie.
I have to keep an eye out for that. But the one thing I do notice, and I was gonna bring that up, that I didn't really notice the last time I watched the movie, was it was interesting to see, because we get a view of the bad guys very early.
Yeah.
You're almost immediately introduced to Clarence Boddicker.
Yeah.
And here's the one.
I wanted to just say, because you were in a certain section, and I wanted to jump in it because you were, it was perfect timing because you were introducing the characters and the names. And I was watching this film just thinking about the names, just their name, like Clarence Boddicker, like just as the villains. It was like I like all the names, like Dick Jones, these particular characters, Bob Morton's. Like they're not standoutish, but they're perfect for what they were doing for this film. It's like it's just a weird thing where like I just like the character names. Like Clarence Boddicker doesn't scream villain, but it's a strong name.
Yeah, that's true.
But it also depicts what he turns out to be later in the film, which we'll get to it, for a guy named Clarence. But go on.
Yeah. Oh damn! Does the name Clarence have some bad connotations? I don't know. What you trying to say?
You don't trust Clarence's.
Don't trust Clarence. All right.
Don't trust no Clarence.
But again, so we basically went through what the world was depicting to you was a world on the brink of chaos, but it starts out with the corporations basically they're about to inject into the world this new program, and I guess what they're looking for, and this is Detroit in America. And this is 87. The movie comes out. I don't think did they tell you the year the movie is taking place?
No,
I don't think
they don't.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say maybe this is supposed to be day and date. Detroit 87. So Detroit 87. It seems like the problem is crime. Crime is huge.
Yeah.
Is what they're telling. The information they're telling you even before you even get to see the first crimes, and is that they need something bigger to protect to because things are going out of control. The look for the companies, mainly OCP, is bad. You know what I mean? Especially at this point, Detroit is unfortunately. I think the reputation got better for Detroit.
Yeah.
But in America, Detroit is seen as kind of like it's a place that had a boom, and then when the boom went away, the chaos took over.
So Detroit Motor City is what it was called back in the day. Was the biggest, one of the profitable cities in the U.S. because that's where all the car manufacturers started out for the most part, and there was a big boom from the car manufacturers. When all the corporations broke their factories out of Detroit, it was just kind of left a whole shell of itself, and then of course you leave something like that, you pull all the money out, then crime takes over.
Yeah,
crime.
In this particular movie, this is like an extreme exaggeration of it going the other way. So what happens if you crime? You get crime bosses and lords, and the police can't handle a situation. The movie opens up to literally so much crime. The cops are, like you said, militarized, where they got to wear body armor.
Yeah,
and they're overworked. They're underpaid by the city. So a corporation stepped in and essentially privatized the police department. So they are still a municipality, but they work for a company and have to abide by their rules.
Yeah, basically. The other thing I find funny is, so they introduce Clarence Boddicker very, very early. They mention him. A fact I didn't know. It didn't retain. Every time I watched the movie, was that he was wanted in connection with the deaths of 31 police officers.
Yes. So there was a cop
killer. A lot of dead
loose.
cops.
Yeah.
There was a cop killer on the loose that was mentioned in one of the news articles, that the news briefs, that's what the big crux of why the cops were so on edge, why the cops were wanting to strike, is because they're being killed in the streets and no one can stop the guy or find the guy doing it.
Well, they know who he is. That's the thing.
But they
know
couldn't
his
get
name.
him.
They know his face. Because the lead story opens with the cop surviving the attack and describing.
Right.
So that was like the first instance of, I guess that's the first instance of information on him as in general. So then you're hit with that information early on. You're hit with the information that it is about to be a war zone. You're hit with the information that the cops are going to go on strike soon, or they want to go on strike. So you're also introduced to Dick Jones and the old man and what's the other guy, Bob Morton. And the plot with them of vying for the contract. So it's almost like you would hear about military contracts and people trying to get, they're trying to get their project funded. So Dick Jones is the one who's like right there at the cusp. He's about to get what he wants. And today is the day we get the presentation. And that presentation ends up being ED was it 309? 209?
Ed 209.
You just call him Edie.
Hey, you know what?
He's literally called Ed.
I'm waiting for my...
He's Ed.
Well, hey, listen. This is what they say in the movie. We got to go one thing at a time.
Yep,
we know him as Ed, but he's ED 209 in the movie. But you have Bob Morton, the Cliffy B like upstart. he's basically on a mission. He's being warned by these two other guys to not fuck with. They in no short terms. They not say, don't fuck with Dick Jones. As he's walking to the presentation himself, they're trying to give him that idea. Don't fuck with Dick Jones.
Very, very vigorously letting him know you don't mess with Dick Jones. You just
tone changes. The tone changes because they're saying it almost jokingly, but they're constantly saying it. They're teasing him like kids and like guys in high school. Yeah, you know what I mean. They're not saying it like, if you value your life, don't fuck with Dick Jones. They're not doing that. So
but they are saying, right?
But pay attention because there's going to be a test on this later.
Gotcha.
So with these three characters that are shown, the black guy with the glasses, and there's one other guy who he's really just a bit part player. He goes away really quickly, but
he does.
Yeah, he does. But as we get to the meeting, you're introduced to the old man, who's the head of the company, and he's discussing what he wants for OCP and the police force. He's like, the next big thing is to help the community, and it's the police force. Now he's you want to say, you think of this guy as an oblivious, like, just billionaire, right? Because Dick Jones comes off as a little sleazy, even for now. Just the way he's so super persistent and like doesn't. So basically, what tips you off to the fact that Dick Jones is now on the up and up is we have the ED 209 presentation, and as he's proceeding to go through his spiel, there's one guy who was in the trios in the beginning trying to warn about Dick Jones. He ends up being blown to absolute hell when I guess the program glitches.
Just to jump in real quick.
Shall we say? You know what I'm saying? And the scene is gruesome. The scene is gruesome. The scene is memorable. But it's almost the way everything kind of moves on. Right after a man is blown apart in front of a boardroom is kind of indicative of just
the universe that you're in.
The worst type of, this is where we are. These are the people that run everything. This is because listen, you see the old dude just put his head in his hands when it happens. Like, he doesn't scream, he doesn't run, he doesn't hide behind a desk. He stays at his head of the table seat and just puts his head down and his head in his hands. And I'm like, what? So you see where the dark humor comes in when you have things like that happen in this movie, which is another reason why I really like the movie. But the one thing I will give this movie lots of credit for is that it paints the picture of where you are. Like, at no uncertain terms are you left thinking, this can't happen in this world. Nah, man, they're showing you it will, and it does. So you better hang the hell on, because that's just the beginning of the movie. That's like the first 20
Yeah,
minutes of the movie.
Yep.
10 minutes, 15.
That's
You know
your
what I mean?
establishing, segment of this film. Just for those who are listening, but I'm sure you can Google it. Ed 209 or ED 209 is a bipedal, essentially tank with a dome top and two arms that are essentially cannons, 50 caliber fucking cannons, essentially. And it stands for Enforcement Droid, the ED.
Yes.
They say that once in the film as well. ED 209, the Enforcement Droid.
And the thing that I like the very upbeat and well done presentation that Dick Jones had prepared for him when he brought him in. He mentioned all his specs and whatnot, only for him to go and murder a man.
And they try
over a mistake.
What bothered me in the end when he fucking brutally murdered this dude is like, oh, let's get an EMT. Like, for what?
Yeah, the guy.
I love it.
That's so great. It's just clearly not. Let's give it up to the for breaking the immersion of the film. Give it up to the fucking pyrotechnics team with those exploding blood packs in that guy. There was a lot of them.
I also like when they're done and they're like trying to get the EMT and the guy's like, "Don't touch him! Don't touch him!" Right. I that little part just made me laugh.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did not realize, which they point out as is about to happen, is we get the established shot of Officer Murphy coming into the precinct. He's a new guy. He's super clean cut, handsome young guy,
like
fresh
Leon.
faced, and about to head and about to head into a war zone. The first thing that Chief says to him is, your first day here. Well, we work here. So armor. He doesn't say suit up. He doesn't say get ready.
Armor up.
He says armor up. So again, they're establishing war zone. War zone. They have the almost, and this is another thing that I kind of maybe this is the legacy. Did Paul Verhoeven also direct Starship Troopers?
I was going to start mentioning a connection between RoboCop and Starship Troopers because you're going to have to talk about the locker room scene.
The locker room scene where
exactly. I was wondering the same thing. I'll find out. You continue talking.
Where it kind of like,
he directed Starship Troopers.
There you go.
There you go. Maybe he was pushing for this equality between people. Say it again.
And Showgirls.
Well, we see where he fell off.
Adding up.
We see where he fell off.
And Basic Instinct. And Total Recall.
Oh my god!
Well,
it's all
he had a track record.
Go on. Yeah.
Also, the bad guy of this movie, the bad guy Total Recall, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the thing I like is like it kind of shows that equality, but it also shows the camaraderie between everybody.
Yeah.
With the unisex locker room and what have you, but you don't even have time to digest anything because the number one thing that's going on is almost every cop is embroiled in a heated debate over the war zone and them about to go on strike.
Yeah.
Like again, there's not really many wasted scenes in the movie, which is kind of like, I don't want to say a rare thing, but it's a thing I noticed. Like they don't waste scenes.
They don't waste scenes.
Bullshit.
Everything's connected. It's that scene. The shared locker room is like we don't have time for separation. Everyone's equal. We're cops here, and that's all we are. So like you said, you walk past naked dudes in the shower to females putting on their armor who are also naked, but there's no tension in there. It's done purple. It's just this is what it is. We're all here to do a job.
Yeah.
To immediately be shown in the scene about the them wanting to strike, to immediately be followed up by the sergeant walking in talking about we don't do that. We're police officers, as they clean out the locker from the first story you get when the movie starts in about the guy being shot and surviving.
And he says the funeral is this week. Yeah, those of you that aren't on assignment, the funeral is this week. They'd like you to attend, is what he's saying, with a box in his hand as Murphy's going to get his new locker. It was just like in and out. In and out.
That's what this is now. So again, like you said, they're consistent on what this world is.
And
constant reminder.
So when they go back to the OCP and to Bob Morton talking with his friends, and well, not friends, with his coworker. The guy, remember there were 3, now there were 2, and the guy's in there. He's going, "That was crazy, right? It's a shame about so and so," and they just brush off the dude that just died.
Yeah.
And continue talking, and he goes, "Yeah, man. Well, he's like, it's the business," but he says something that I didn't really pay attention to before, where he goes, "Everything." So, what I had glossed over was the fact that Bob Morton got the contract by slipping in right after that man got shot out, and so he basically got approval for the RoboCop system.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what this leads into this scene where it has an important key phrase is, he says, "Oh yeah, I have everything under control. I have the precinct. I have it set up, and we're getting I think he said recruitment based on risk factor."
Right.
Now, I don't know which way that's leaning, if he meant high risk or low risk, but the first transfer was Alex Murphy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you realize that it was that guy that had Murphy transferred there. And it's like, damn, that's a connection I didn't really get the first few times I saw this movie, which was so that means he was handpicked to be put there.
Yeah.
Also, Murphy mentions this as he comes in, and he's talking to them as the new guys. It looks like OCP seeing a lot of guys up here moving people around. He says this as he's transferred there.
But he doesn't know. He
doesn't know why.
Does it?
Of course, yeah.
Why or who? And it's like, so he's basically part of an experiment.
100%
from the get-go, and it's just like he ends up unwittingly being one of the first test subjects, but ends up being the ultimate test subject because he becomes RoboCop. And that happens right after this because Lewis is paired up with Murphy, and their first assignment leads them to that warehouse,
his death,
that infamous warehouse.
Their first assignment leads them to a bank robbery.
And so that's what I'm saying. The chase leads them to that warehouse.
Right.
The funny things with the bank robbery is one of the robbers burnt the money.
Yes.
Presumably using explosives. And that same bank robber is thrown from the truck when he gets hit. I believe he gets shot.
One of the greatest lines ever. Can you fly, Bobby?
And he just goes, "Huh?" And they just chuck him at the cops. And it's just like, they painting the pictures, man. Clarence Boddicker is ruthless.
Is one of my favorite villains because of his ruthlessness, because of his candor, because of his conduct. He's interesting.
You can learn a lot in a few minutes.
So another thing I realized I think I didn't mention. Okay, so now I can talk about it. Is when this is the introduction to his crew, and I didn't realize before that that's a completely diverse crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have the stereotypical Italian guy, the wise guy. You have just a straight up punk, which was like the guy that turns into he gets a gruesome fate later on.
Yeah.
You get the black dude that's just nuts, laughs at everything.
He's like a hyena. It's interesting.
Yeah, he's the hyena. Well, we would know it today, but he kind of seems to be the archetype because wasn't much of that before him. Then you get the Asian dude that was there, who didn't seem like he was crucial to the plot, but there's a few key scenes where he speaks up and like he's like seen as either not second in command, but he's got his shit together.
Yeah.
Right. Specifically at the factory scene when RoboCop bursts in later on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as we're going right now, we go to the basically, I guess this is the most iconic scene in the movie, where after the chase, that chase leads him to the it's
a warehouse.
It's kind of what you would think of if you heard the description of Detroit.
Yeah. Bombed
out, depleted. It's like an area that looks like nothing's been there. No, it was industry.
Mm-hmm.
It was industry. It was. You know what I mean? It is dilapidated. It's falling apart. All the stereotypes.
Like
so that's where the hideout is.
Type of giant. Yeah, go on.
I mean, well, you would assume that's one of their hideouts because you find out later Clarence Boddicker, he's on a payroll, so he's got whatever the hell he wants. But they follow them to that hideout, and then it's interesting how it goes.
Hold on,
goes
quick
down
question.
too.
I'm so sorry. Quick question then. No, because that's you'll get to that point, and I'll ask that question then. It's about what you just said about Clarence Boddicker being employed by OCP, and I'm trying to picture in my mind now. Is that the entire time, or is that after a certain thing? But go on.
Okay. For what you see is you get to see, well, not the entire crew, but you get to see the crew chilling. You get to learn some things about them. So they aren't faceless nobodies. That's right. One thing you do notice. It's not just a bunch of generic thugs. Sure, they are generic in nature and thuggish in nature, but you get us. Yeah, it seems like that's one of the things that I also it kind of makes it stand out with you. Is things like that.
I can see the influence it has in other movies too. Like I see the Crow in this with the four like villains and stuff like that. They're kind of memorable. You know exactly who they are in that sense.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Like, so trailblazing here is some work was put in. Like,
yeah, because you have the characteristics of those characters, so you actually it built the characteristics for them.
Yeah, the movie's not long. It doesn't take too much time establishing them, but you basically get a sense for most of the characters because they give you moments, however brief they are, of their personalities, and they don't. It is to be said, they don't all just die.
Yeah,
they're persistent throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is they are heavily outmatched. Lewis and Murphy. They stumble into a snake pit. Lewis stumbles on the black guy taking a piss, and he has a line, "May I zip this up?" as she's holding, says freeze, and he's another thing you just see is a small detail. It's like he waits till she looks down and then just clocks her. Yeah. And then she flies off a thing, so she's incapacitated. Then they go to Murphy, and then he gets caught from behind with basically a shotgun to the back of his head. And then the entire scene where they berate him before they take him to task, but also you get more establishment of how depraved Clarence Boddicker is.
Well, yes, and then you get his specific problem with the police department.
Yeah,
not specific, but just him and his police don't like me, and I don't like police. Speech.
He goes into the and then blows his hand off, and then he says, "You can have him," and then he just lets the rest of them just mercilessly gun him down. Now the thing is kind of again gratuitous because the dude does not just die with 2 shots.
Gratuitous, yes, it is.
He gets shot for like I don't know 3-4 minutes straight, and he just doesn't die. And he doesn't die, and then Clarence Boddicker puts the last bullet in his brain.
Mind you, he's being shot by. They all had shotguns.
Yeah,
those just large holes, like to the point where he had lost limbs. Like they blew an entire arm off. He's got gaping wounds in his chest and legs. Like it's gratuitous.
Mm-hmm.
And what goes down in movie history is probably one of the most gruesome scenes in cinema history.
Mm-hmm. And then they depart, right? They think he's dead, and then Lewis finds
the black
him.
guy laughing all the way. You just hear his cackle, his hyena laugh. It's memorable too.
One of the things I say, the more the movie goes on, though, is the entire crew almost sums up the best parts. Well, not the best. This sums up the parts that stand out the most about an iconic comic book villain, and there's they all come together to form the perfect Joker.
Yeah,
like the one thing I was seeing this entire movie was like, these guys are all the Joker.
Yeah, in different ways.
The sums of the hyena guy, the laughs at everything, punches cops with his apparently with his
one-liners,
wiener out. You know what I'm saying? His one-liners. You got that one. You got the Clarence Boddicker, who's clearly just crazy.
Yeah.
But so like demented and vicious that he does what he did with the shotgun. You know what I'm saying? but he's also the mastermind.
Yeah.
You have the punk, like the guy who's just a ruthless thug who sticks everybody up. That's the guy that turns into the mutant later on. Like, there's just so many different things that it started like firing off and was like, I didn't think about that before.
It's funny that you say that. Now that you say that, it reminds me of Clarence Boddicer's scene with the other crime boss sitting at the table. Reminds me of the scene with the Joker walking in in the movies, the Dark Knight Returns with that Joker, with Ledger Joker, walking into the crime bosses and sitting at the table, dealing with them. And it's almost like the same thing. He comes down and he's, explains to them, and he doesn't pull no punches. It's like, hey, we can be kind or we can not be kind, and then what he does then. You know what I mean?
How did he dip his fingers to that man's wine and the man still sipped it? I don't
called him a wop.
I still
By the way,
I still don't
understand. A couple of
how
racial slurs thrown out in this film that can't be.
You know what? See, this isn't even like a product of the 80s. This is kind of more. This is what would happen if criminals said shit. This isn't like kids saying it like weird science. This isn't the stuff like that we got in the movies we watched earlier. There's a lot of stuff where we go, that's a product of the 80s. Yeah. This is vicious, violent criminals. They're not PC. They would never be PC.
Exactly.
They're gonna say whatever the hell comes to their mind.
To be provocative.
What makes it a product of the 80s is the fact that it had a kid's storyline. That's what makes it a product of the 80s.
100 with a bullet, Mert.
Let's move on.
But just so we have things like that. We have RoboCop. Almost immediately, Murphy is being taken to be made RoboCop. Meanwhile, having flashes. And I guess they're trying to show you the entire time that he's whatever they're saying while he's being put together, that he still has a piece of his humanity.
Yeah.
So let's context, because it's not understated. Like you said, as Murphy, Lois finds him all bloodied up and damn near with a bullet in the head. Could have just assumed he's dead. Obviously, she's the one, without even them showing it, would have called it in. He's being rushed down the hall on a gurney in a hospital, and he's on his back, and he's looking up at the light as the doctors are spitting out medical nonsense to try to save him. The whole time he's flashing his most, I guess, important memories to him. Seeing his wife, the encounterment with his son, which was stated early in the movie. He spins the gun with a finger and puts it in his holster. And Murphy asks, what's that about? Fancy work. And he says, my son likes this show called, I forget the name of it at the moment. But it likes the show on TV that the hero on that show spins his gun and puts it away. And he sees that memory as he's on the gurney being rushed to be trying to save his life after being murdered a bunch.
It was this you actually reviewed the movie too. The cowboy.
What, the Lone Ranger?
The Ranger.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a recently facsimile, but it wasn't the Lone Ranger.
Well, that's where it
came from. TJ Laser.
Yeah. TJ Laser. But basically, that's the Lone Ranger shit. Yeah. Essentially,
but so that's what he was. But just to give proper context of, like you were saying, the more you're talking about it, the more I'm thinking about what's going on, and the writing and direction of this movie is way more solid than I ever noticed when I was younger. The continuity, the everything being done, scene to scene, moment to moment, is all coherent and cohesive. So go on.
Scott Steiner, apparently, he's not having fun listening to us. But the one thing I wanted to, yes, he is. The one thing I want to talk about with his being put together is that him remembering who he is intercut with the scenes of Bob Morton, who is the head of the RoboCop program, and he's coming in every once in a while to check in on the progress. And then they introduce the other, the female scientist, and then she brings up the part about we could salvage the left arm, and it's like get rid. Why would we want to keep that? Just get rid of it. And that's like a constant plot point that you hear between, like, until he's made about the bio-organic makeup of RoboCop. How much of it is he? And so he's supposed to be 90% where it's just a brain. But I believe because she, I don't know, feels bad for him, I believe she ends up keeping more tissue than they should, and that's probably it's never explicitly said, but it probably ends up being what sways it into the balance of him retaining more of his humanity.
Yeah,
I know you can't save it all in one arm and blah blah blah, but it's like it seems like it's said for a reason. You know what I mean?
Well, for the most part, yeah, it's definitely more than what we can see because he has the simplest of a digestive system. Because they mentioned that he has a paste that he can eat that helps maintain his life functions, which means he has to have something to break that down. So he at least has his head and a stomach, and the connecting tissues for all of that in the center of his chest.
So the guy goes, tastes like baby food.
Yeah, which I liked as well. Which is a little detail they didn't have to do, but I feel like it meant so much. It was a funny little quip, but I think it added, like nothing's wasted, like you said.
Yeah.
And again, as this movie's going on, you're still here and there hit with little ads for things. I remember there's the ad for the heart. And the thing that made me laugh was that Heart had brand names. Do you want a Kawasaki? Yeah. It was just like, bruh, come on, man. Well,
interestingly enough, funny enough about the heart, because he mentioned Jensen. It's a Jensen heart, which is Jensen's from the pharmaceutical company Johnson & Johnson, and the name of the current COVID vaccine from Johnson & Johnson is called Jensen.
Well, how about? I mean, listen.
Little info for you there.
Also, the lead character in Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
His name is Jensen,
and he's pretty much a RoboCop.
Good point.
So this movie influenced a lot, credited or uncredited. It influenced a lot, and the more times you look at it and you pick up the little details, the more you see that not just the concept of a robot policeman was lifted. There's a lot of different things from this movie that people took for inspiration. So. Let's see. With that said, we established him having the memories. The next time you see him, he is RoboCop, the iconic robot man. Yes. And they're introducing him to the police force. The sergeant, I think he's a sergeant. The sergeant wigs out when he sees him. Everybody's freaked out. Lewis is like, "What the hell?" She knows it's Murphy.
Yeah.
She sees the
shot and how you handled the gun.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me jump in one more time. And I know I'll make this long because I'm a kind of a mark for this film. So just like, leave it not to be stated, the entrance to the police department is iconic.
Yeah.
So when he walks, what precedes him is our guy Bob Morton, bumps in, throwing all his big cock OCP weight around. Sees our sergeant. Hey, what the fuck is going on? Is dismissed by Bob, as in, we're OCP official business. Go fuck off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like you said, everything's been set up priorly. Like while we can say essentially maybe a year has passed since he died, or maybe a couple of months, because in Bob Morton tells the boss that we can have this up and running prototype in 90 days. Yeah, and so that's 3 months.
Yes.
So from the time that he dies, which is a couple of days after that, to them getting him fully built and working, during the scene where he's flashing on and off as RoboCop, New Year's had passed. They were celebrating New Year's, hence the pretty girl scientist kisses him on the visor. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit after that, they're back. So a significant amount of time has passed. So they had already established a setup area inside their police department for him to arrive. And then you get the iconic sound that I love. It's the walk as he walks in the police station. That thud and the sound effects is like, it just hits me every time. Doof, 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 and everybody goes silent in the freeze-over scene. And like kids all fucking run because he's silhouetted behind the glass that divides the police department hallway toward the main bullpen area. Is this opaque glass that you can't really see through, but you can see a silhouette through. And he's walking by that, and you hear the sound, and everybody running, trying to see what the fuck is that. Mm-hmm. So like, it's a whole mood. That establishing sign is the whole thing. It's super important.
It is the first time anybody has seen RoboCop outside of the scientists, essentially. But you do also learn that RoboCop was in the bottom of the precinct.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yes.
Like they had a station under the precinct, so he was never revealed to the outside world because he never had to go outside.
Yeah.
So he just went from the basement, apparently that's where it was, to the first floor of the precinct. So that's another thing to he has not been exposed to the outside world at all. So everybody's freaking out.
We gotta move a little more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I'm trying to get. But essentially, there is a clash between the two. So we know he got fucked up by Clarence Boddicker. We know Bob Morton kind of undercut Dick Jones. These are the two thread lines that they eventually head to head. Dick Jones sends Clarence Boddicker to kill Bob Morton. And one of my favorite lines in the movie, bitches leave. It's just fucked up because Bob's having him a little coke party with his two female friends, and over his success of RoboCop, and he is murdered because he undercut Dick Jones for the project. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So you have that. Then you have the last loose end is RoboCop to Clarence Boddicker. And that's where we get the like you said before, Jinky's about the meeting of the two drug kingpins.
Yeah.
And the showdown in the factory. And so essentially that's crashed by RoboCop. And he beats everybody's ass, kills mad people. And takes in Clarence Boddicker. And that's where it's made very, very apparent that he is not to be touched. Because he almost instantly is free.
Yeah. So
essentially it's setting up the showdown, which is like the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
Throughout you have the gang seeing RoboCop and being basically fucked up by RoboCop, and everybody at the end is headed towards this showdown where it all originally took place, which is that same factory. You get one of my favorite scenes, which the motorcycle guy / the dude with the sharp sideburns tries to take out RoboCop. Yeah. RoboCop shoots the glass in the truck, and he slams into the toxic waste. The other dude bails on him. Did you get he turns into a mutant man, and then there's that going on while the showdown's happening. He walks to the other guy. Help me! And the guys, don't touch me, man! Oh, just iconic stuff.
One of my we kind of like skipped, but when the first meeting with Ed, and the stairs, how he got defeated was just the staircase.
Yes,
like, hey, go look, I can't go down the stairs. It reminded me of Toka and Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah, I mean, again, who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, inspiring a lot of stuff, man.
As I watched this, like again, it made me think of other movies, and that's something that you could establish that this might had a lot of influence in movies that came out in the future wise, because the four main villains, I thought of the Crow, 100% thought of the Crow, because they were known, but they were known through the whole movie, and then him getting revenge on them, kind of the same thing with RoboCop. RoboCop lines up remembering them, and then sorts out and to getting them and everything like that too. So established that. But yeah, Ed dying, pretty much falling down the stairs, made me laugh.
Yes,
it was a fun scene. It was done to make so. But just to throw in a little quick thing to help people establish as we get towards the end of this, is that RoboCop was also in the attending bed, established with 3 prime directives and 1/4 one unknown. The prime directive was to serve the public trust, protect the innocent, and uphold the law.
Yes.
And we'll definitely get to that last one.
Yeah.
You'll get to.
Yeah, the last one is
you
funny.
See the last one.
Last one you see it coming.
You see, yeah. It's shown with the confrontation in OCP.
Yeah.
But like you said, there is more leading up to it, but in the interest of time, we won't go through everything. But there is a confrontation between ED-209 and RoboCop. There was also a confrontation because he is made public enemy number 1 between RoboCop and the police force.
Yeah.
And he's basically destroyed, and Lewis is the one that saves him.
Yeah.
There's also establishing what takes down ED-209 because the criminals at one point steal military grade equipment.
Yeah.
And that gun that they get, which is called the Viper.
Did they really steal it? I feel like it was.
No, they were gifted. They were allowed to take.
They didn't steal. They had it maybe look like they were
Exactly.
stealing it, but they didn't steal it.
They didn't really steal.
They had the combination, and they were like, "Oh yes, we take all of it."
You take off, yes, basically. But like you get that, and so that's how that's how RoboCop and ED-209 resolved their confrontation, basically. So, but what it comes down to is essentially all the gang members meeting their end, and the showdown between Clarence Boddicker and RoboCop, which it doesn't go down quite as expected because with the help of the last gang member, they get the jump on him.
Yeah.
And Clarence Boddicker impales him with a pipe. And as he says, "Sayonara, RoboCop," RoboCop pulls out the does that have a name? The spike?
Data spike.
I guess it is, which we've seen up to this point being used to extract data from computers.
It
extracts blood. It extracts his life from his throat.
Yes,
because he jigs him one time and you get the hugest blood splatter.
It was.
It's the same. It's one of his fatalities in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, the everything
he's not
ends
in
up.
Fortnite yet? Sorry, go on.
Should be. I mean, why not? Oh yeah, we didn't mention that Tomb Raider is the latest character in Fortnite. She'll be in season 6. So that loose end is wrapped up. Clarence Boddicker has met his end. There's still one more thing to go, which is Dick Jones, because at this point they know he's corrupt. Nobody else knows he's corrupt. This is where we learn what the 4th directive is, that he cannot harm specifically him.
Well, specifically,
it was supposed to be for
the OCP. So he couldn't harm him or the old man.
The old man. It was like what I was gonna say. It was specifically for the old man. Remember, it's not supposed to. It seems like something that Dick Jones probably had put in.
Yes.
Because remember, he was the rival of.
No,
Bob,
he said he put it in.
Of Bob.
In the confrontation, he says he did it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because remember, he was the actual opposition to Bob, so there was no reason for him to be in that program. I'm just saying. So you get that thing. RoboCop overcomes that directive via his humanity.
RoboCop overcomes that directive because in the confrontation.
The guy. Yeah. You're fired.
You're fired, and so therefore
they used the loophole.
It was a nice loophole. It made perfect sense
to get rid of him. Yes. So again, the old man kind of saves the day. You know what I mean? Again, I still feel his character was just literally just a clueless billionaire.
Exactly. Heart in the right place, but so distanced from the actual people he's trying to help that he doesn't understand why things are going wrong the way they are.
And he's got just evil people all around him. Yes.
Exactly. So there's people who want to take advantage of the kind-hearted old man because of their own personal gain.
Yes,
completely,
basically.
100%.
So then, again, another iconic scene where he shoots Dick Jones and he falls out the window. And the claymation.
That scene.
So,
again, this movie... until he's gone.
It's just full of. There's tons of iconic scenes in this movie. This movie deserves its reputation as being a cult classic and just a popular, not just popular, just like a good movie.
I think I'll say it's probably one of the most popular '80s movies. Like top 5.
It got in there.
Yeah,
got in there. So. Yeah, 87. So. And that's I guess that we could wrap that up because that's the end of the movie. My feelings are give it a 10 out of 10, even though we grade on a 5. I don't care.
Exactly. It's a 6 out of 5.
Yeah.
11 out of 10 for me.
Uno.
But I'm biased. I might do a cast on just this movie all by myself to go into all the little details that I love. But it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what you gonna give it, Mark?
I give it a 5. Like it is. I'll say is the best one we have watched so far. And like I said, I don't think nothing's gonna beat it. And well, Batman's gonna be a questionable one, and Turtles. I think Turtles is gonna be my number 1, 100%. I know that for a fact that's gonna beat this movie. But
so we're doing Tim Burton's Batman. Is that what we're doing?
Tim Burton's Batman's in 2 weeks.
Okay. 2 weeks, gotcha.
So
and then original Turtles. Oh, this is a good movie watching.
So we're gonna go from a great movie like this to a shitty movie like Superman 4, but it is what it is.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5. It honestly, I haven't watched this movie in such a long time, so me getting reintroduced to this movie, I think again, like how we just looked at things differently and actually caught a lot more things. That was kind of what I was doing with this movie, just looking at just what they use. Because honestly, even like the graphics of it kind of holds up in a way, even though it does look cheesy at times, it still looks really good.
Also, it was practical. The Ed 209 stuff was fucking / claymation and what I mean, stop motion. But for everything else, because we all know that the original RoboCop suit was a 90-pound fucking metal suit he wore.
Yeah.
So all the fucking practical effects were just great.
Yeah. It just brings back my childhood too. Like honestly, I remember having the toys. I remember having the cop car and the cap and burning my fucking finger because it got really hot.
Terrible bad 80s toys.
Yeah, but it was it's a stand the test of time, and I think it's still a good movie to this day. I'm gonna give it a perfect score. It's a 5. It's gonna be number 1.
Fucking RoboCop boy.
And yours is gonna be number 1 as well, right?
100%. So much higher than everything else.
Yeah, it's in its own category. I think I think when we're going through this list, there are those movies that you know for a fact is going to be beating out a lot of things. This is one of those movies that I knew is going to be a hard one to beat.
Yeah, I'm just interested in rewatching Batman. I haven't watched Batman in maybe
I haven't watched it in
20 years.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
a long time since I've seen Batman.
Yeah, so this is our verdict for this week is RoboCop. Next week we got Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
That's the Richard Pryor one?
No, that's Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man.
We did 5.
Yeah, that's 4.
Oh,
there's only 4 Christopher Reeve movies.
You're right. Sorry.
Superman 4. We have Batman. Tim Burton's Batman, the first one. We have The Punisher, starring Dolph Lundgren. Toxic Avenger 2, Toxic Avenger 3, Captain America, Darkman, Dark Tracy, Hardware, and RoboCop 2. Those are like the next 2 months.
Okay.
So we got a RoboCop 2 before Turtles.
RoboCop 2, because we've talked about it on and off, and you're the only one who gives me that defending of RoboCop 2, and I need to watch it again with a different eye than I remember watching it before.
RoboCop 2 is great.
Yeah, you say that, so I need to watch it again because my brain tells me, no, it wasn't.
Because it's
but I need to go watch it again.
The thing is, it's not as heavy, but when you see it, it's almost just a slightly lighter version of RoboCop.
Yeah, because it wasn't that PG-13.
It was PG-13. That's what I know. There was no more R-rated RoboCops.
They were like, we're gonna sell toys more this time.
But it wasn't the.
It wasn't.
We're trying to make it a child
2.
thing like 3. No.
It wasn't Turtles 2. It wasn't that either.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good.
I think that's what I'm doing to it. So I gotta go back and watch it, like you said.
I actually think we should do Turtles 1 and 2. Like we should do part 2 as well because I think Turtles 2 is really different than Turtles 1.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a hands down difference. We could skip 3. We know 3.
That's a completely different direction. Yes.
But 2, again, they had a toy line. They were able to get toy lines. They were able to get this. They were able to get that. First one, they were like, no, we're not giving you toys. It's too violent. Your turtles are cursing. Can't do that shit. Jim Henson had problems with the first movie.
Did he?
Yeah, he didn't like it because it was too violent.
But it was wonderful.
Yes, it was wonderful. But RoboCop is our probably number 1 right now. And it's gonna probably be number 1 until Batman Tim Burton, and then that one's gonna fight it out. I think Tim Burton. I have a feeling right now Tim Burton Batman 2 is going to be number 2, right, and then Turtles is going to be the questionable one to break those.
What year was Batman Returns?
Batman Returns.
How long after?
We'll probably do Batman Returns like later this year. Like, so our list right now is Superman 4 next week, Batman, The Punisher, Toxic Avenger 2 and 3, Captain America, Darkman, Dick Tracy, Hardware, RoboCop, TMNT, Guyver, Rocketeer, Batman Returns.
Guyver? Holy shit.
JJ what?
Yeah.
God. Batman Returns 92. I was close.
And then we got Guyver. Then we got what is after that? Dr. Meteoroid, Meteor Man, RoboCop 3, Blank Man, The Crow, Guyver 2, Fantastic Four, The Masked, Shadow, Time Cop, Batman Forever, Crying Freeman, Darkman 2, Judge Dredd, Power Rangers. Freeman? Yeah, it's Crying Freeman.
Wait. I'm sorry.
There's a live action movie of Crying Freeman.
Live action movie of Crying Freeman.
It stars Mark DiCasio.
Did you see the anime?
Yeah, I've seen the anime.
Holy,
that's like one of the first animated movies I watched.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did not know you knew about Crying Freeman.
Yeah, I do.
Well, now.
And I've seen the live action movie. Yeah.
Holy shit!
The dude from Only the Strong is in it. Mark DiCasio. Red Jimmy Lee.
1995. Holy shit! It really is.
Yeah.
He's got the tattoos and everything. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
We have a long list. I actually like that we had this on the cast. Is the fact that it gives us always something to talk about when we're going into it. So, us always adding something like the verdict with the cast, I'm actually enjoying this because it keeps it going into a way that we can say the news, but we can always have a really discussion about things that we loved as a kid. Or
things that we don't like Condor Man.
And the Queen of the Jungle.
You guys watch Tank Police yet?
Who?
Tank Police.
Tank Police.
Not Tank Police. Tank Girl.
Tank Girl's not that's like 91. That's like 93, 94.
All right.
We're still in the 80s. We're still in like 87 right now. So we're still in the 80s, and the 80s had a lot of shitty movies. So we're going through that. We had Howard the Duck, which was a weird fucking movie. We had Weird Science, which is funny shit with Weird Science because we wasn't part of it. Weird Science, it has nothing to do with the comic book it's actually named after. It's just the title they used. Weird Science was like it was kind of like a Twilight Zone of comic books. It had like a bunch of different stories.
Switch.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's how they got you. Anyway, last but not least, I just want to bring it up. Avengers. Are you interested in Black Panther?
Oh, the game?
Yeah.
Yes. That looked. They need to show me gameplay and what that's going to be like. They only showed the trailer. Go on. I'm sorry.
Is that in the engine of the last Avengers game?
Yeah.
It's just its own thing?
That's just an add-on. Yeah.
It's an
add-on. No. An add-on to the Avengers? Or
can
you buy this?
To the Avengers.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I thought so. So, like, each character gets their own, like, their character and, like, their own little world section of the game. Like, Hawkeye had a whole section. Black Panther is going to have.
How was Hawkeye?
In it.
Anybody experienced Hawkeye yet?
I don't care.
I just saw a thing about Hawkeye where he has an animation that's straight out of that someone put side by side, like they just stroll from Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
There's an animation where he takes the arrow out and he spins around, striking it on the ground, and then launching it kneel down position, like you do with the fucking bow and like they put it next to each other. I was like,
but
that's
it good?
That I don't know.
Because that game wasn't great. It had potential, but the way they nickeled and dimed for everything when we say no.
So
I think I'm gonna wait if they get all the DLC out for that game. So this one, well, I don't know about Spider-Man because I don't have a PlayStation, and I think that deal needs to dry up. They need to release that.
Well, they still got them rights, right?
Sony still has the rights, but I still feel like if the developer wants to continue that game, everyone needs to be able to have access to that.
They need to scrap that engine and just start over with another engine. Like take the Spider-Man engine or something. I'm kind of like that game had the chance to be something more than it is.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I feel like it just turned into a cash-in.
I agree. Like I wanted the game to be good. I own it. I bought it, and I wanted to like it. It got extremely repetitive. There's no really good villains in the game. Like you only fight 3 main villains, and the rest are just generic robot people.
Yeah, for the
And then
For the games,
with Hawkeye, I think they brought in Maestro, which is just you fighting the Hulk again with a beard. And then I think Wakanda is gonna have Claw.
Yeah, Claw is the villain.
So, and which is going to be like Taskmaster, but just with a gun instead of him manipulating your moves.
The
trailer didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Black Panther looked cool though.
He himself, yes.
I don't like the whole credit. Tony Stark little circle he has on his chest, but other than that, I dig the suit.
The voice acting too was familiar as well. I know that actor. Yeah. I gotta figure out what his name is.
I have a feeling he talked him before.
Exactly. Like it sounded like that. I think he did it for one of the cartoons.
Then it's the same voice actor then, because I think it's the same guy that talked him in like the Marvel cartoons and shit.
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
Avengers. But yeah, I saw that. I saw the trailer. I was just interested in what you guys think. I still own the game, so I could just download and just get it back and see where it goes. But honestly, if it's not that really different, I don't think I could keep going with it.
I hear you.
It did themselves. That's all I gotta say.
You know, I'm used to backing the wrong horse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You love giving the money for the wrong horse.
I'm trying to see how this Outriders is going to be.
I heard good things about it.
Optimistic.
I've been hearing good things.
I liked a lot about it. It's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter. It's like, third-person already a win for me because I can see my cosmetics. And if it's a loot shooter, I like to see what the fuck I look like.
Yeah.
The mechanics are similar to Gears-like, which is fine. I like that style. The shooting seems solid. I just got to figure out about that network issue. I'm hoping when the game launches full that it's going to be fully server-based. Yeah. Because I believe the demo was it was host-based.
Okay.
It was 100% host-based. So I would load it into a game with somebody and it would fucking... Boy, that rubber banding, if you know what rubber banding is. It was bad. It was bad. It does have crossplay, so I like games having crossplay out the gate with all the multiple platforms because I feel like that helps the longevity of a game if multiple people can play it from different platforms together. So you don't have to worry about, did it sell well on PlayStation? Did it sell well on Xbox? It did fine on. The only issue is
as long as it does enough to not shut down in the first year, the first few months. I'm
gonna see because it had the content seemed decent in the demo, and your save carries over to the real game when it comes out if you continue.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I saw. I was looking at that. All right, I guess we wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. Make sure you check us out anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. Also YouTube.
Nice.
And we got a WordPress, so check it out.
Check it out.
Where you at, Mark?
Well, you just posted some new stuff on the WordPress, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, check it out.
Put the Wrestling Babble on there and everything. So
yeah,
check it all out.
You put pictures up too. What game have you been playing?
Neo 2.
There you go. That's what I saw.
Check that out.
That's what I saw. Definitely check that out. Check out all our casts on RedCycloneInc Spotify. We have the Not a Trekkie. We have the Shell Shock. We have the Morphin Cast. We have the Gamer Rage podcast. We have our weekly It Gets Better, I Swear, and the Wrestling Babble pages. They're all on Spotify. The easiest way to get our podcast. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Twitch. I'll mark with the mic. I will be twitching soon. I promise. I'll have a schedule and everything. Most likely, I'm going to be doing Yakuza Like a Dragon. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to play the PS5 version because now I'll have to replay the game, and I'm angry about that. But I'm going to have fun doing it. So I might as well have commentating with it, I guess, right? Anyway, follow all those. And you don't have to. Well, Jinkies could tell you where he's going to be at, so you can follow him.
Currently now, you can just follow me as on Commander Pharaoh on Twitter and Commander Pharaoh on Twitch.
Yeah.
You can see me do art streams now and here again. I'll be practicing my sketching and
drawing
stuff
boobs.
like that. Yep.
Draws a lot of boobs. Yeah. Usually I will say always remember to follow the Jinkies and some weird thing to happen to him. But I'll do it in his face. Follow the Jinkies.
Stay away from my sandwiches.